everybody? So today we're going to go over a few things. First and foremost, when we hit 20,000 subscribers, my brother and I are going to do a Q&A video. So in the comments below, be sure to put your question, and then in the upcoming video, we'll do our best to answer every question. So next up on the list, we're going to talk about the new cameras we bought a few weeks ago, and we'll do a quick 370Z tour. So some of you might remember last November, Black Friday sale, my brother and I bought new video cameras. We bought the Sony CX675. They're a camcorder style video camera. They were like $500. We bought them to replace our Samsung Galaxy S5s. So for the past 2 years, we've actually been filming nearly all of our videos from our cell phones. We had the GoPro Hero 4s for the past 1 year, and those have been, of course, our GoPro videos. But for a lot of our footage, it was with our cell phones, and we decided it was time to up our game with real video cameras. But after using those cameras for about a week or two, we weren't really happy with the video quality. They were really identical to our cell phones. The only difference, they were very steady because it had a built-in gimbal. But overall, for 500 bucks, it really wasn't worth keeping just because it wasn't the sharpest image. It really wasn't that impressive. So we returned them. Best Buy has a really good return policy, so we returned them and then bought the new camera, which is what I'm filming on right now. This is the Sony Alpha A5100. So now I'm back on the GoPro Hero 4 Silver. We've had these for about a year. Here's a good look at what the video camera looks like. It is a mirrorless camera, and then as you can see, the screen is flipped up. One thing we really liked, the screen goes from back here, and then you can flip it up all the way and around. It does 1080 at 60 frame rate. The only drawback to this camera, there is no external microphone port, so wind noise is a little bit of an issue. I'm going to cut back to filming with the Sony in just a second, but that is what the actual camera looks like. It was about $560, I believe, maybe $580 with tax. But overall, pretty cool camera. I looked at some other ones. There was, I believe it was the Canon G7X, and then either a Nikon or a Canon M3. Those ones were basically the same with no external microphone port, but about the same price and video quality. So now back on the 5100, basically this video we're going to look at the car inside now. I've had the Z now for about 5 months. I haven't really done a true review, like tour of the car, so we're going to go over exterior and interior, what trim level it is and stuff like that. So during the video, obviously you're watching to check out the Z, but also look at the lighting, how I'm in focus, how this might not be in focus being in the background versus the foreground. Look at the lighting because right now the camera is facing the sun. And in previous cameras, this would be a horrible way to film. I would be a black silhouette, so that is pretty neat. And when I filmed the Ford Raptor just a few days ago, but I was filming a black truck into the sunlight and it wasn't washed out. So far we're really liking them, but as you can see, the sunlight is behind me up there somewhere, and yet you can still see me. And of course, as I turn around, more lit on this side, everything still looks pretty good. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out the Z. So this is the 370Z. It is a 2012 model year with the 6-speed manual transmission. I bought it with 22,500 miles on it, and I've gone about 4,500 miles on it so far. I think it's been just over 5 months. This is a touring model. It also does have the sport package and the technology package, so it's basically the fully loaded manual Z, and I was really wanting to make sure I could find one with every single option on it. So starting with the outside part of the sport package is these wheels. They're 19-inch raised forged wheels. Super cool looking. I like the concave on them. And along with that, the sport package gives you these really big brake calipers. They're not actually Brembo brand. It's like Accabono or something. Not really sure how to pronounce it. But they do a really good job out on the track. Nice gray color to them. On top of that, the sport package gives you a super sleek little spoiler. I think it looks a lot better having a spoiler than without it. I like it a lot. And then it also has a limited slip rear differential. And I think that is only with the manuals, but it's really nice to have that. Moving on to the inside, the car has a smart key, so you can just press the button and it'll unlock. So for the touring model, what you get with that, you get really nice leather and micro suede seats. It's like a leather material on the side with a almost suede feeling in the center. They are heated and power front, back, power recline, and then just manual adjustments for the base. The door panel has the same micro suede on it, white stitching. Both windows are automatic, all your locks. And it also has the Bose audio, which I think all Zs come with that. Nice leather steering wheel with perforated leather on the sides. 6-speed manual, as I mentioned, and then with the tech package, you get the navigation and the backup camera. So now inside the vehicle, the steering wheel has all your cruise control settings on the right side, and then volume and other controls for the actual navigation system. And we'll go ahead and double tap the start button just to turn on all the electronics. I like having the center tack on it with the gear, and it's letting me know that I am in sport mode right now. I got about 26,000 on it right now. And then the screen over here is actually pretty cool. You can change quite a few settings in it. You can scroll through clock, maintenance, and other options. You can actually set a different rev light. I think I have mine set to 7,000 RPM. So that's pretty neat. Then up here you actually have your oil temperature, which is really good to have because if the oil isn't warmed up, you really shouldn't floor your engine. Even if the coolant is warmed up, you don't want the oil to not be at optimal temperature. Then you get your battery voltage and your clock, and then the whole infotainment setup with the nav screen. There's a lot of things you can do on here. You can have maintenance reminders, traffic and weather, and then a cool thing, you can check your fuel economy, which is kind of neat. I wouldn't mind if that showed like horsepower or something else, but that is a lot of cool features that the nav system has. All the radio controls, climate control is down here. Then your sport mode button. I think all the manuals do come with it, but I think some people have commented saying they don't, so mine does, and the ones I've seen do have it. Really nice 6-speed manual. Short throws, the shift knob is good to hold, easy to get your gear. And then you have your heated seat buttons, just a high and a low. They work pretty quickly. A little bit of storage right here. I just have an old iPod plugged in there, just my key for right now. You can see the door panel again, matches really cool with the seat. And the glove box has a little bit of space. I just have my, actually I've been looking for that, my sunglass case. But that is a little bit of space there. And then behind the passenger seat, you have another box. I just have the owner's manual and like a flashlight or something in there. And you have a little bit of a shelf there as well. And then something really cool I actually forgot to mention on my cork video, right here, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's turn those lights off. So that little hole right there, at nighttime when you turn your headlights on, that's actually an LED, and it actually illuminates this whole ring with a hint of orange, and you can kind of see the shift knob. So that's a subtle cool thing that Nissan did just to give the interior a little bit cool look at night. And then looking over the rear, you got the tonneau cover, just got a few things back in the trunk. Yeah, that's kind of the inside basically, some controls here. So that's all hands-free, just use the steering wheel rather than touching anything. It is a touchscreen system, and you can also use the buttons here. And then these buttons are for the dimness of the gauges when the headlights are on, so at nighttime you can just have everything a little bit darker. That's basically the interior. It's pretty simple looking. I like it a lot. You got a kind of a leather look with stitching that matches with the shift knob and the shift boot. So it's got a pretty cool look to it. And then on the left side, traction control on and off. And then your key slot, if your key fob dies, you can just pop it in there. Then we'll pop the hood. You got pretty cool aluminum pedals as well. And then for the engine, it's a 3.7 liter V6. That's why they call it a 370Z. Same with the 350, that was a 3.5 liter. About 332 horsepower. Only thing I have on it right now are the ISR silicone intake pipes, just replacing the factory like corrugated plastic ones. We still do have 2 Genesis Coupe parts for sale. I got the 2-liter intercooler pipes and the 3.8 AEM cold air intake. Once I sell those, I will look for an exhaust for the Z. I'm kind of looking at either a Borla or going with the Garage line, so that might be a pretty cool choice. But I want to sell some parts first before I buy the exhaust. But I do have the stock one back on it. I sold the muffler delete. A little bit too loud for my taste. Stock is pretty decent for a stock car, I will say. But I definitely want a nice cat back on it now. And then the only other thing I've done to it, I just did the gloss black roof. Just the vinyl on it. Give it a little bit of a cool look. So we'll take another look at the interior from the passenger side. You also get the cool little knee pads there with stitching. I really like the seats, they're pretty sweet. Lumbar support is actually on the inside. Took me about a week to figure that out. But pretty cool looking interior, I like it a lot. It's pretty easy to use and I think it's pretty sporty looking. Definitely been a fun car so far. Can't wait for some more trips with it, more modifications. So that is the quick tour of the 370Z as well as a camera test. What did you all think of the actual video quality? The lighting going from outside to inside of a dark interior, looking at the sunlight, and yet I should still be in color. I'm not just a silhouette. and then even rotating around, it should be pretty smooth. This camera does have interchangeable lenses and it has built-in optical stabilization, so it's not as steady as those other Sonys we bought a while ago, which had a built-in gimbal, but it should be pretty steady as I just walk in a straight line. It shouldn't be too bad. But the coloring and sharpness is really good in my opinion so far, so let me know what you think of the new cameras. These are what we bought. Too late to return them now, so we're really enjoying the cameras so far. I think they're doing a great job, and editing on our Macs is amazing compared to the PCs. It used to take us at least an hour and a half to 2 hours just to save a video. So that's going from editing it to saving it, and saving is turning into an MP4 file that you can actually upload it. On the Macs, it takes 10 minutes, so it's so much easier to use. They don't crash like the PCs, so we're really liking all our new setup. So anyway, that's the quick tour of the 370, looking at it inside and out, testing out the new cameras as well. So thank you for watching. Give us a high five, hit the subscribe button down below. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you all next video.